What we need is amino acids.
Talk about that, please, because a lot of people say protein, protein, protein.
No.
We do not understand the definition of protein.
No.
Do not understand the origins of protein.
Yeah, I mean, you know, to make it simple, our body's a reflection of our lifestyle, what we're eating.
You could do it. Don't tell yourself you can't do it. You can do it. Take that can't word out of your vocabulary.
Yeah. The example is in front of you. You watching it.
I'm with my brother from another, representing New York. High, vibrational, powerful conversation, man. Talk to him, man. Introduce yourself.
Peace. What's up, good family? Happy healing. It's your boy Mac, you know what I'm saying, from Harlem, New York. coachgetright. And you know, like Scott said, we here. High vibrational conversations to build, grow each other, love on each other. That's what's important. So stay tuned. You're in tune for something special.
Understand, man. It's a lot of negative influences in this world. It's a lot of negative energy. So we coming in here and we're taking control of the narrative and bringing that positive energy and positive love, man. Thank you so much for being on the channel, brother.
Thank you for having me.
Nah, absolutely. We're gonna break down the fallacies and give y'all the truth, the divine truth. A lot of people ask us as melanated brothers, really nice physiques, really nice bodies. I'm 7 years vegan, plant-based vegan, and
It's been about 4 years for me.
4 years for him. Still have our physiques, if not much better than we were before. This topic is, how do we build muscle being vegan/plant-based athletes?
That's what they want to know, huh?
That's what they want to know, man. Because you know, I go to the gym, I go outside, I go to different functions. It's just like, oh my God, you just have an amazing body. And I tell them what it is. I educate them. I fast, I detox, I eat my chickpeas, I don't eat meat. You know, it's been 7 years. I've been thriving. Not surviving, I've been thriving.
My background, I was born in the Bronx, actually, in Bronx Lebanon Hospital. You know what I'm saying? And I moved to Harlem when I was about 5 years old. So, you know, I've been in Harlem most of my life. I went to high school in the Bronx, South Bronx High School. Always athletic, always, you know, active to say, you know, but eating the wrong foods, like most kids.
Chopped cheese.
Yeah, chopped cheese, bacon, egg, and cheese, you know what I'm saying? Butter roll.
Arizona.
With the Arizona, the 50-cent soda.
Oh my, the nutty?
Oh man, they was killing us. They was killing us. But you know, we give grace and empathy for our parents that was pouring from empty cups. Any better, you know what I'm saying? So as I went along through my life of just being a natural gift, I want to say that, foods I was eating, I was always fighting through the ugly. I could always jump high and always be energetic, you know, through the foods that I was eating. That brings most people down to killing people. You know, they say that we're dying longer, we're not living longer through the foods, you know. College, played athletics, basketball.
It's nice too.
Listen, I've hung that up, you know what I'm saying? It's the difference between being a basketball player or a person playing basketball, and I realized like I ain't want to do it. I ain't gonna make nothing out of it. Why I'm gonna lie to myself? Me just knew like something was wrong and I needed better and I wanted better. A couple of injuries, nasty injuries. I had a left knee injury, and it was due to like, you know, the diet and overuse of the body. I had so much inflammation. I was, you know, mineralized. Like I didn't have enough minerals in my body, over-chemicalized. And I just had to like make changes, control of my health and my wellness, and went plant-based after college. I moved to LA. I was in LA for a little bit, chasing a dream that wasn't there for me as a stuntman. New York for a little bit, working at Equinox. That didn't work for me. Bumps and barriers and trials and tribulations, I knew like underneath was really who I was, and discovering that, I discovered that in Mexico too during COVID, man, to speed things up. Once I got there, I was like, I'm forever grateful, you know? Me encanta Mexico.
Listen, my man said from the Bronx to Harlem to Mexico.
From the concrete jungle to the jungle.
To the literal jungle too. Like, this man live in a jungle, man, you know what I mean? With lions, tigers, and bears, you know what I'm saying? Made you, or what influenced you to get into this plant-based vegan lifestyle, man? Talk to him about that.
Well, you know, Scott, like, there's a better way for all of us. Understanding is that throughout our DNA, there's certain placements in the world where we should be, closer to the sun. There's certain foods we should be eating to be our higher selves. I start studying. The information is in books. So I encourage you, if you want to grow, read books. Start reading books. I read a book on melanin, and it literally titled Melanin by Dr. Africa. Blew my mind. 67 pages blew my mind. Within the first 3 pages, I had to put down the book because it was so much information. I said, all right, we're gonna take our time with this and learn more. According to what the plants is or how the sun is to the plants is to our bodies. I mean, they there we're biology, right? So we want to put living things inside of us.
Yes.
As living beings.
Electric.
Yes. Start respecting myself a lot more, bro. This is a sign of self-respect. I realized I wasn't alone. There was other brothers like, Scott has been on his, his journey.
Yes.
And on his assignment as a wellness warrior. And this is what we're here for, bro. We realize what's best for us. And this is not to take anything from anybody else, like our parents. Like, this is made for us. So this is that, and I ain't going back. I ain't never going back.
Go back, especially when you have a feeling of just feeling healthy and feeling good and feeling vibrant and not feeling sluggish.
Yeah.
And just feeling electrical. How can you build muscle being plant-based and being vegan? Let's break down some fallacies and bring them divine truth. Talk to them.
You gotta know the source of protein you're getting.
Okay.
Most people think they got that programming that we want to go straight to the meat source. Dead, corpse. What you doing? Again, we're biology. Look at the mammals on Earth that eat plant-based herbivores. They are the strongest. Aesthetically, they look strong, and physically, they're strong, right?
Gorilla.
What we need is amino acids.
Talk about that, please, because a lot of people say protein.
No.
Who do not understand the definition of protein,
No.
do not understand the origins of protein.
Yeah, I mean, to make it simple, we need amino acids for muscle growth. We need amino acids to keep away inflammation. We need amino acids to keep our structure functioning like it needs to as a human being. As biology, we need that for our brains as well. We need hydration, right? The muscle tissue is made up of 70%, 80% water. So if you're not hydrated enough, you won't be full. You won't look like Scott. You won't have a full pectoral, full muscle development. You won't
look like MACK.
You won't be lean. You know what I'm saying? You won't be vascular. Your body fat percentage will be high, depending on what you're eating. So when you do inherit the plant-based diet, yes, you have to eat an ample amount, but it is nutrient dense. So for 2 meals that we eating, it's gonna hold us down. Our body's a reflection of our lifestyle, what we're eating. Good carbohydrates that you also wanna have. You wanna have your good fats. That's gonna help buffer down the protein synthesis of all you've been eating. Eating too much. And fasting teaches that.
And don't forget the micronutrients. A lot of people love to talk about the macronutrients,
right,
which is the protein, fats, and carbs.
Right.
But the micronutrients is very important as well,
Absolutely.
too.
Very.
You get that from the herb, the seamoss and different teas.
Absolutely. This is huge. The body is a holistic system, and it wants to work holistically. But if you're in the way of yourself, if you're in your mind, and you think one thing is going to work for you because it worked for A, B, and C, we talking about yourself here, right? Life is your own. So get into that. Don't go with the mass, because that's when you're going to follow the mass. Doing yourself to crash. So the plant-based lifestyle teaches us that. It teaches us that the less inflammation we have, the more information we can have.
Oh my, can you say that again, please?
The less inflammation we have, the more information we have.
Yes.
And with that information, you're able to grow. Slow pace, take your time. Most people are using and spending their last dollars, their hard-earned dollars, for these supplements. That's just gonna be a waste.
He's going there. He's going there.
For what? These protein shakes? Nah. The source comes from the plant. The source is the earth. Get right before you get left.
Listen, man.
Hope that answers your question.
No, absolutely. And this is why we need to come back to Mother Nature, because a lot of people start questioning, why do I have this chronic illnesses? Why do I have this high blood pressure? You need to understand that you have been moving far away from Mother Nature and going more into Western medicine and not going back to the actual source of the medicine, going back to the actual source of the healing. Things do not just come out of nowhere.
Nope.
This is a lack of accountability and living a certain way or living a certain lifestyle. So once you understand that, and you have a better understanding of that, then guess what? Okay, now we know how we need to move forward. Now we know what we need to do in order to reverse these symptoms.
Yeah, sleep is huge too for growth. Don't get it twisted. It ain't all about what you eat. Go to sleep to recover. Go to sleep to heal.
See, now that we're talking about sleep, right? People like to complicate things. I'm gonna lose my muscles. I'm gonna lose my size if I go plant-based, if I go vegan. You have to understand that it's not what you do, it's how you do it.
Say that again.
It's not what you do, it's how you do it. The MACK said, when you have the information, do not let the information go in vain. Use it to your advantage. Us as athletes, we're pretty strong guys.
Absolutely.
Compliments on our physique and what have you. What are these guys doing? So for one, we are eating nutritionally dense foods, right?
Yes.
Number two, you got to talk about this too. If you want to build muscle, I don't care if you're plant-based, if you're carnivore, if you're pescatarian, you got to build muscle, you have to start resistance training.
Absolutely.
There's no way skipping that.
Absolutely, no.
You have to start resistance training.
The body needs the good stress, and that's what the resistance training is. It's going to allow your body to break into new form.
Yes.
It's going to allow you to create muscle. It's going to stimulate a lactic acid. It's going to build up. You're going to see body composition changing. Every so often, if you switch in your program every 4 to 6 weeks, you're changing your microcycles and your mesocycles or your macrocycles, you're going to see the body changing. But you do need the resistance training. I recommend, for most men, times on your legs more, because that's where our testosterone is produced at.
Talk about it, please, because a lot of these brothers out here skipping leg day, man.
Yeah.
You know, and I know this is a calisthenics fitness channel, but come on, man, we can't be skipping leg day out here, man.
So when you train legs, the legs helps us with the production of testosterone. Testosterone is going to fill through the whole body. On days, I remember, like when I was working at Equinox, I would train legs and my arms would look swole. And you know what I'm saying? My colleagues would be like, yo, you train arms to their chest? Nah, legs. Mm-hmm. So pump those legs out. It's going to help also erectile dysfunction, libidos. Ooh. We can't go there. Ooh. You can't be 35 with the... you can't have
with the limp, you know what I'm saying?
It's back to the information and taking your time with yourself. This life here is a journey.
Another thing with resistance training is to be able to stimulate the body. In order for you to build muscle and grow, there needs to be a stress, a stimulus. Example, right? You're curling the 20s, but you can do 20, 25 reps of those. Now you're going to an endurance phase. You need to upgrade from the 20s to the 35s. You want a calisthenic perspective? You could do 20 amount of pull-ups. You could do 50 amount of push-ups, right? You're going into endurance phase, strength endurance.
Yeah.
Now, in order for, you're gonna build muscle, but we're talking about like building quality muscle,
right.
You need to have stimulus.
Yeah.
So now you're going to weighted calisthenics. Okay, let me attach this 45-pound plate on me. I know I'm not gonna be able to do 20 pull-ups,
right.
But I can go into that single digit range, like 5, 6, you know, the 5x5 training, weighted dips, the same thing with like weighted push-ups. So you have to incorporate more resistance training.
Absolutely.
And after resistance training, what is another way that we all can build muscle? Other of it all, you need to sleep. So can you talk about the importance of sleep?
My understanding, my knowledge, most of us are sleep deprived.
Yes.
And when we're sleep deprived, we get headaches, we're irritable, in our phones, right?
Ooh.
Serotonin and melatonin is being stripped away from us from being in our phones.
Can you break that down? Because a lot of people don't understand that. You know, the melatonin from the serotonin, because we know melatonin is for the nighttime, but you could go ahead.
Yeah, it's time for your body to, first of all, we try to outsmart where we live, and this is home, right? The body has an intelligence of itself, the mind has an intelligence of itself. So what we need to do is grow strong into the wisdom. We need to humble ourselves with the wisdom and know that it's there and trust the wisdom. So when you get there and you arrive at this place, you gotta be like, okay, it's the body what it needs today. I'm feeling tired, my eyes is hurting, bleeding, and why am I on this phone? Let me put the phone down, let me rest my eyes, let me close my eyes, let me rest my body. Phone, or if you're eating late, this is what keeps you up. So what you want to do is, again, like how you're training and you have a repetition, a program, or something structured that you're following, your sleep patterns should also be that, because that's what the body is looking for. Structure.
Circadian rhythm.
Waking up and going to sleep at the same time. That's what we talk about.
Yeah.
Waking up and going to sleep at the same time, training the body, internal clock, right? If you look at nature, our teacher, there is not a bird or a squirrel out here with a watch on. They don't worry about the days. They're going with the way of the world. You come up, you should be up, you know, looking into the sun when it's rising, getting in that light, getting in those vitamins.
Yes.
Throughout your day, you know, you're nourishing yourself, you're hydrating yourself, you're moving your body, you're happy, right? The nature will give you naturally if you're not on your phone.
Serotonin levels as well too in the daytime, and then the melatonin in the night. Understand that it needs to be a structure.
Yeah.
And another thing that you want to incorporate more sleep is because sleep is the ultimate recovery. Sleep is going to help repair and recover your body. A lot of people out there is eating late, and then they activate the hormone, was it ghrelin?
Ghrelin is also...
that's the hormone that makes you want to eat
more.
Late. Eat more because you stay up so late. I understand that we're all adults here, we all have lives, but listen, turn off the Netflix, turn off the Pornhub, turn off whatever it is. reduce the amount of blue lights that you have, so you can preserve your natural melatonin.
At least 3 hours before bed.
Sleep is the natural steroid. You want to know how we build muscle as vegan plant-based athletes? We go to sleep. It's a natural steroid. Increase your testosterone by so much. You're gonna recover. You're gonna feel great, and overall, you will build muscle as you sleep. A lot of people think like, oh, you build muscle throughout the workout. No, you break down the body.
Down. That's atrophy. You know, you break down to build up. But if you keep breaking down, stressed out, right? Because sleep allows you to just not be stressed. It's really repairing you, literally. If you break down in the gym, and you break down when you come home on the phone, and you're not sleeping, you're breaking down, how are you ever supposed to build up? Give yourself a chance to grow. Give yourself a chance, literally. If what you have been doing for some period of time and it's not working for you, shouldn't that just come to your mind like, all right, nothing changes if nothing changes, back to that.
Oh man.
You know, like we gotta make changes if we want better.
You gotta get out the comfort zone, man.
Absolutely.
And so comfortable in that comfort zone and do not understand that they are doing themselves a disservice. Absolutely. You are literally limiting your potential to be great. You're limiting your potential to go after the next level. That 100%. Comfort zone, good over there, is nothing great over there.
Nah, it's literally hand slaughter.
Exactly.
That's what it is. Your hands is you killing yourself. Hand slaughter.
You know what? We got to talk about this. We're talking about how to build muscle as a plant-based vegan athlete, right? It'd be a bodily renovation. And when we talk about bodily renovation, we're talking about fasting and detoxing. Can you expand on that?
Sure.
Please.
Most of the time, the things we feel we need, we don't. We're actually overcomplicated as humans. We overseason everything, and we swear we got the story to everything. No. 90% of the things that you tell yourself or your mind speaks to you about, that subconscious, that little roommate, is incorrect. So when we start to move forward with our truth, we know what works for us. We know that we don't have to follow anything or listen to somebody to get the answers that we need. But again, it's about silencing the mind. So
talk about the benefits of fasting and detoxing when it comes to building muscle. Because I was just about to go in, you know what I'm saying? But
it's a cleansing. You want to cleanse your lymphatic system, which is your sewage system, that's going to help flush the body, get rid of inflammation, mucus, toxins, metals. You want to purify your body. The body intelligence is there, enough to do what it needs to do, repair itself. So after your fast, you also want to repair the muscle tissue because you've broken down so much, right? You strip yourself bottom. Right? We call it a humbling phase, where you just you get rid of toxic thoughts, toxic words, toxic people. You start literally cutting that away, weeding that away. And that's when the waste, not the weight, but the waste.
Can you repeat that? Repeat that.
You cut the waste, not the weight. You understand? And when you can get rid of that, literally, I'm gonna use myself as an example. If you look at prior pictures of me when I started my plant-based journey, I was up, you know, but I was consistent with what I was doing. But there was parts of me emotionally that was still stuck, stagnant within those muscles. Let's get deeper. As I started to have my spiritual awakening, I had less time for the gym and more time for developing my mindset. That was a consequence of me slimming down. Still cut up aesthetically, like I could easily do a photo shoot, I got that, right? But this getting rid of the waste. I had to cut people out, I had to cut relationships out, I had to cut what I was watching out, what I was listening to, out. And immediately I dropped a lot of that inflammation, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, Scott, I had to cut out the waste, bro. And when I got rid of that, it was like the body allowed me to free up space. And I was like, okay, you showed, the body wants to work for you and not against you. So when you do that, it's like, oh, I love you. Now let's create more space for this muscle that you want to put on. And at any time, I could go into 1 week of training intensely. I work out with the brother out here, Scott, hit the bar, and the body, poof, blow up. Snap. You know, that's the reward for it. But you guys got to get rid of the waste.
There's a saying that says you got to sacrifice in order for a greater gain. And when I did my 21-day raw vegan fast, I sacrificed the cooked food, the fried oyster mushrooms, the curry chickpeas, and I went back to Mother Nature. Let me tell you, I healed so many things that I was like, wow, I couldn't believe I healed. I'm gonna be transparent. I used to suffer from insomnia. Used to. That means past tense.
Yeah.
So I remember one time I was trying to go to sleep and just trying to get my circadian rhythm back. And I tried to go to sleep at 9 p.m. and I was still awake at 2 a.m. Let me tell you, when I started to fast and detox and purge my body of those toxins and parasites that was in my body or what have you, I was starting to go to sleep at 8 o'clock.
Whole new man.
8 o'clock, going to sleep around that time and developing that circadian rhythm where I get tired at certain times, of course my recovery is gonna be better. So yes, I'm gonna be building muscle. It was a humbling phase for me because yes, I'm losing weight, but in actuality, I was losing waste. And then once I finish and discipline myself throughout that fast and that detox, when it comes to refeed, when I'm back on my walnuts, my Brazil nuts, my chickpeas, my wild rice, my quinoa flakes, crazy. I blew up. I came back much more muscular than I was even before the detox. And a lot of people's not even talking about that.
They're not, because everybody want the instant. Everybody want the quick fix.
The instant gratification is limiting people on this earth. Having that mindset of instant gratification, you're doing yourself a complete disservice. You're living in delusion.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna keep it real with you. We keep it real on this channel. You're living in delusion.
Pump faking yourself.
How dare you?
Faking out. For what? If you truly love yourself and you tapped in at this man's channel, you're gonna really like understand what he's bringing to you. This is him at a vulnerable state giving you the real. Don't be following after something that's not for you.
You got to be able to take heed to the knowledge, take heed to the information. You can't just know it all.
No.
You can't.
No.
The man that knows it all knows nothing.
Knows nothing. Humble yourself.
The man that doesn't know it all is willing to learn something. I don't know it all, but I'm willing to take the initiative and to do my due diligence to understand what is it that I'm trying to know. Us, melanated brothers of color, powerful people, powerful brothers come together and say, you know what? We can put our egos aside and we can come together and talk about this knowledge and spread this knowledge, because you know what I love to say, family, a lack of knowledge will allow the people to perish. My people will perish for a lack of knowledge. We're two brothers from the Bronx. Do you know what we had to go through growing up? And now you're talking about plant-based and vegan and holistic healing and fasting. These things were not taught to us. But we're here to break generational curses. We're here to change the narrative, control the narrative. And this is why we came together to speak to you all on this high vibrational conversation and to give you all the knowledge. And do not take the knowledge in vain. You can do it. Don't tell yourself you can't do it. You can do it. Take that can't word out of your vocabulary.
The example is in front of you. You watching it. The example is in front.
Right in front of you.
Right in front of you. If it's not us right now, it's you in the mirror. Love yourself.
Love yourself, man. Love yourself and know thyself before you go to the grave. A lot of people, they go to the grave, they deceased, they passed, they long gone, and they didn't even get a chance to know themselves. Can you imagine such a thing?
It's really scary.
Really?
Really.
Now you living in purgatory. Now you living in limbo.
Now you ain't resting at peace.
Ooh.
Tough.
But family, I appreciate this man for coming on the channel, man. Thank you so much for coming through. This was a powerful, powerful conversation. But you know what? Been with the bodybuilding industry and what's going on in the industry, because this conversation about building muscle on a plant-based diet, any bodybuilders that went plant-based, it started to perish and passed away. Do you have anything that you want to say about that industry and what's going on with the corruption of the industry?
Right. You know what? With the corruption, with the bad, with the dark, there's light.
Yes.
You understand? And I see everything as medicine. I was a bodybuilder for about 3 or 4 years. You know, shout out to my man MH, the great. You know, he put me through the ropes. I had to experience it, right? It wasn't for me. I would say that the industry is growth. I got into it. I see my body snap in different forms. I push my body to limits. I think that's really what it's about. creating your own. There's no competition even when you get on the stage with others. It's about what you did for yourself for the number of weeks that you prep. It's not really about the competition, because it's all politics if you ask me. It's about who ass you kissing and who you know, and that's not what I was about. Right. You know, to achieve this, I guess, pro card. You know, my friends, Mike, you know, I King Supreme, these guys got their pro cards. Just recently, my boy Dominique Warren, who I worked at Equinox, got them. Congratulations to those guys. I don't take nothing from them. The industry, through my eyes, my lens, I'm like, nah, this ain't sustainable.
No, it's not.
There's nothing I want to do I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. I want to have my joint health. I want to be upright. I want to be good. I want to have good posture. You know, when you watch bodybuilders, you know, old school guys, they beat up. They had major surgery.
Ronnie Coleman.
You know, like, can't walk. I don't want that for myself. You understand? So I had to call quits. You know, it can get expensive. You know, like I said, it's a bunch of toxicity and negativity. So I had to really let it go.
Remove yourself from that.
I had to remove myself.
Yeah.
And what it did for me and my family, I got a younger cousin now competing. So he's a generation behind me. So he was watching, and now he created his own lane. Whatever he wants to do, I allow him to do that. I'm not steering him away from it, but my experience has been medicine totally. And, you know, I grew a lot from it, like I said, and I love who I was during that time. And I can look back and say, man, I did that. I got a couple of trophies in the shrine for my mom's and her house, and she's proud of me, and that's it. We moving with that. But plant-based, you know, guys who are plant-based competing now, Makaru, salute to you guys. I know it's hard. You gotta eat a lot. When I was a bodybuilder, I was eating like 8 times a day. Yeah. It was crazy. My caloric intake was wild.
Caloric surplus.
My God, you know, and even I feel y'all pain, what you going through. Times where you on low calorie, a caloric deficit, or not a caloric deficit, what I'm looking for. You might be low on carbs and you gotta lift. Your coach telling you, yo, you gotta go throw some heavy iron on low carbs. Yeah. The source of energy? What we doing? That hurt. So psychologically, I was off. I was really rude, very toxic. I'm like, nah. So more power and respect to you guys that are doing it. It is a mental, it's a mental build, man. A mental resiliency, you know, like to grow through that. Not to go through it, but to grow through it. You know, get in and get out. Feel it for yourself. If you like it, stay. If you get something out of it, you gaining clients, you gaining wealth, go ahead, more power to you. But it wasn't doing well for me. So here I'm in back to my niche and my purpose and my passion and my assignment, and we're doing well, thriving.
Surviving, we thriving, man.
Absolutely.
And this concludes this amazing video, this amazing dialogue with this brother, man. I will put every link in the description below for you to follow him and for you to support my brother. You know, 2 brothers from the Bronx coming together, having a powerful dialogue about health and wellness. What more do you want, man? You know, so anything you want to say to the people before we end?
Man, just get right before you get left. That's what we kicking. Get right before you get left. In any direction in life, you always want to be on the right track, whether it's finances, your mental state, your relationships with yourself and the world. You got to get right. It's only one way.
Listen, man, that's Coach Get Right, aka my boy Mac, man. It's your boy Scott Burnhard. Rate, comment, like, and subscribe. Shout out to my brother Mac, man. This is the first, but not the last. You know what I'm saying? We got more to come. Trust me. You know, we got a lot to work on. You know. And if you love this video, if this video has inspired you and helped you in some kind of way, and open up your mind, please share this video. That's the only way we're gonna grow on this channel. All right. Roll to 1 million subscribers. I'm manifesting.
Yeah, you there?
I'm there.
You there already?
All right.
Bro. It's yours. Go get it.
Peace, man.
Love.
Ooh, that thing healthy. Paper bag with the greens, I'm gonna ring it up like house keys. Who got that healthy? Phone click up in the picture, got my crew all of my selfies. Ooh, that thing healthy. Ooh, that thing healthy. Who got that healthy? Who got that healthy? She open getting it in, girl jingling like house key. Ooh, that thing healthy.